Operations with fractions. We're going to review how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions. So first off, addition 3/5 plus 1/4. So we need a common denominator here so that we can add these fractions together. Common denominator between 5 and 4 is going to be 20. So what we need to do is take 3/5 and we need to multiply this by something to give us 20 on the denominator, and that will be 5 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. So we multiply the bottom by 4, we will also multiply the top by 4. Then we're going to take 1/4 and we're going to multiply that by something so that we have 20 on the bottom. 4 times 5 gives us 20, and since we're multiplying the denominator by 5, we multiply the numerator also by 5. So now we can work this out. 3 times 4 is 12. And 5 times 4 is 20, which we already knew. 1 times 5 is 5, and 4 times 5 is 20. So now we have common denominator. The denominators are the same, so we can simply add the numerators. So 12 over 20 plus 5 over 20. 12 plus 5 is 17, and that gives us 17 over 20. This is much the same. Let's skip it. Let's do a subtraction. 5/7 minus 2/3. So we need a common denominator because they're not the same. For 7 and 3, it's going to be 21. So we're going to need to multiply this fraction by 3 over 3, and we're going to need to multiply this fraction by 7 over 7. And let's do that. So 5 over 7 times, we want 21 in the numerator, in the denominator, sorry. So we will multiply 7 by 3 to give us 21. So we'll multiply this fraction by 3 over 3. Then we're going to subtract 2/3, which we will also change by multiplying 3 by 7 to get 21, and the numerator also by 7. So 5 times 3 is 15, and 7 times 3 is 21. 2 times 7 is 14, and 3 times 7 is 21. So now we have 15 over 21 minus 14 over 21. And that gives us 1 over 21. Looking at multiplication, we've already done it to solve addition and subtraction problems, but we can look at this one real quick. You simply multiply the numerator and multiply the denominator. We always want to answer in simplest form, so if we can divide the numerator and denominator by the same number, then we will do so and reduce it to its simplest form. Division is much the same as multiplication, actually. What we do is we take the first fraction and then we multiply by the reciprocal. So what that means is 3/5 multiplied by, we take 2/3 and we flip it upside down. Right? We swap the numerator and denominator like this. So we write it as 3 times 2. So 3 divided by 5, 3/5 divided by 2/3 is the same as 3/5 times 3 over 2. And now it's a simple multiplication statement. So 3 times 3 is 9, and 5 times 2 is 10. So that's the answer. Now let's look at mixed numbers. So we have 1.5 times 1 1/4. So to be able to figure this out, we're going to need to put these into improper fractions first. So that means the numerator is larger than the denominator. So 1.5, this means we could write this out as 2 over 2. Okay, 1 is 2 over 2, and we have 1 over 2. Okay, this is this number here. And we're going to multiply that by, all right, this is in quarters. So we have 4 over 4. 1 is 4 over 4, and 1/4. So this is the same thing, just expanded out. 2 over 2 plus 1 over 2, they both have the same denominator, so we have 3 halves. And we're going to multiply that by 4 over 4 plus 1 over 4, again, same denominator, so we can add 5 over 4. So these are improper fractions, because this value is greater than that value. This value is greater than that value. What we'll do here is now multiply. 3 times 5 is 15. And 2 times 4 is 8. So we're not going to leave it as an improper fraction, though this is the answer, we want to put it back into a mixed number. So to do so, we'll do the opposite. Here we sort of dissected the 1.5 to see what it looks like. Now we're going to go the other way. So 15 over 8. Well, this certainly has 8 over 8 because there's 15 eighths. So we can certainly pull 8 out of there. If we take 8 away from the 15, then we're left with 7 eighths. Right? So 15 eighths is the same as 8 eighths plus 7 eighths. And 8 eighths is 1. So that we can write this as 1 and 7 eighths. So 15 over 8 is the same as 1 and 7 eighths. When we're doing these problems, we can also simply go straight to the mixed or the improper fraction from the mixed number. We don't have to split it up and write out 5/5 every time and 8 quarters. So here, for instance, we have 1, and that's simply 5/5. So we can multiply 1 times 5 to give us 5, and then add 1 to get 6/5. 1 and 1/5 is indeed 6/5. You have 5/5 and 1/5 to give you 6/5. And now 2, which is the same as 4 over 4 and 4 over 4 again, that's actually 8 over 4. 2, the number 2, can be expressed as 8 over 4. Well, 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So 9 over 4 is the improper fraction for 2 1/4. 4 over 4, 4 over 4 again, and 1/4. 4 plus 1, that gives us 9/4. So to divide 6/5 by 9/4, we multiply by the reciprocal, so multiply by 4 over 9. We look at the diagonals. Here, the 6 can be divided by 3 to give us 2. The 9 can be divided by 3 to give us 3. So now we can work out 2 times 4 is 8, and 5 times 3 is 15. So 1 1/5 divided by 2 1/4 gives us 8 over 15.